Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Alright, party people, hope everything is fine with you guys. Shit gets real today for this Mosin-Nagant, because we're going to use this and this and possibly this to shorten a Mosin-Nagant stock assembly, lower receiver if you can call it that, which is basically just a piece of wood, to fit an AKRS SOPMOD B2 rail, and for the underside another rail for maybe possibly bipods, I'm not sure. We're just gonna max it out like always. You can hate me later for it. So we're out here in wonderful Zielona, I guess, at the in Poland at the Spectrum shooting range, and this classy Mosin-Nagant stock, which is of no value in Poland because they are still produced, these stocks in Poland, and cost around 50 bucks, will get a little bit of a makeover. And for that, first of all, we're going to use wheel paint by CNC, which for some reason holds even better than gun paint in guns. We're going to give it a black tint, just, you know, to make it look a little bit more fitting for the tactical loadout that it will bear. And so while this stock is drying and asking itself what the hell it did wrong with its life decision to end up here being modified, we're just going to take off this stock, because the owner, this is an actual original Mosin-Nagant stock with the sling swivels and the can surfaces, or what it is here, the retainers for the rings holding it on the barrel, even though it's not on, but it's theoretically perfectly well possible to fit them on here. We're going to take this off because the owner, who owns already a few of these AKRS on his AKs, an old AK, a new AK, he wants to have it on his Mosin too, but he wants to keep this stock in case he wants to resell his Mosin at some point as a collector's item. So just going to go ahead and take everything off. Notice that for some reason on the polish, is it polish made? I don't see a polished crest here, but it looks polish made. Anyways, that they have a retainer just like the K89, K98, I'm sorry, and some sort of safety I never saw before. To the rear is safe, to the front it's unsafe. Fun time. Completely unnecessary with the Mosin, if you ask me. I mean, the bolt itself has a safety, and notice this bolt has a 90-degree lever. This is something you definitely want to use it with your AKRS. But the bolt itself has a safety, and in order to take off the bolt, usually you just press the trigger and let it slide back. Barrel is in great condition, and well, yeah, this is something noteworthy about the Mosins from Poland. Notice that this Mosin has a cut for a cleaning rod due to the original Mosin cavalry stock, but it has no cleaning rod. I'll see if it has a cleaning rod retention on the inside, which is a screw-on surface, but it doesn't. So it is a very, let's say, unusual Mosin. It has, though, two drillings right here. For some reason you have an auto battery shot that they burst open and the gases fly out here and don't send the bolt into your head, which is also very unusual. So it is a modernized Mosin, I'm guessing. I'm not quite sure what is going on, but I'm not too familiar with Mosins. Alrighty, we'll just keep this optic on. Rings are off by now. This is a Vic Optics cheapo, was like 70 bucks or something, Chinese optic. And it's rated for 22 and whatnot. We just, you know, bought it for photos and everything, and then notice that it holds perfectly the AR and the AK's recoil, 7.62 by 39 mind you, and we'll see if it holds the 7.62 by 54R. And if it does, we know that a little bitty light to us, so therefore it will be an even better optic than the Chinese themselves are admitting. I see an atypical sight right here, which the only thing it does, it allows us to put the rail even further to the rear, as with standard with a standard Mosin side block. So let's just go ahead and do it. See if everything is nicely lined up, and it is very nicely lined up. Notice how everything fits nicely and snugly on here. Now got your bipods you can deploy. Pick a T or M-lock mounted. For the M-lock bypass, then it needs to be done a slight modification. Although if you have an M-lock plate in your actual stock, M-lock panels here on the side somewhere, or if you have an M-lock handguard even that somehow are there, likely we'll bring out one ourselves, let's see, then you can put it on your M-lock. But I like it more on the barrel. It's not a free-floating barrel then, but it is nicely and very high, kind of like on a VA2000 back in the day, WA2000, BODS 2000. Everything functions perfectly. Let's see, just to make you understand what I mean. Now if the barrel hangs in here, just a way nicer experience than with some bipods that are under it, although the Mosin is very streamlined, very low, and therefore it wouldn't be much of a difference. However, on the AK it's a drastic difference. Let's get the stock. So what we're going to do now, stock is nice and dry, is we'll just line everything up and then mark the space, which is very, very small, the space here that doesn't snugly fit in. This again, really not a lot. I imagine it to be way more, although this is not a standard Mosin stock. This would be standard Mosin furniture. But anyways, it's still not too bad, not too shabby, to say the least. Alright, let's mark it. Now that we marked it, we can actually start bringing tears into your guys' eyes. You can start cutting the stock. Alright guys, don't cry there. It's just gonna get better. Alrighty, so the stock is almost fully dried. Although we can continue assembling it. We don't need to wait until it's fully dry. It's not the sunniest weather out here, it could take hours. And the owner will anyways tape it with some camouflage tape. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this cheapo Chinese rail. We don't need an expensive rail on the button, it's mostly just for looks. Because we have our bipod, our optic, our precision, all the magic happens in the upper rail in order to be able to hit on far distances. With a rifle like this, without free-floating handguard obviously, but you could of course fuse it with some free-floating handguard. Archangels are free-floating I guess, but there's also the Crook system, and there is also a Ukrainian Umarex service system that has a free-floating handguard, and then you could just fuse this rail to their handguard, and although I'm not completely sure what you need to modify, then you would have just your optic and your rail on your barrel, but the barrel would be basically free-floating, although with all this stuff on here, but nothing touching the shooter or the ground, and then the bipods could be moved to the handguard as well. Anyways, long story short, let's get this bad boy here onto the rifle, and then we can continue. There you go. This is our Hillbilly tactical Mosin. Picatinny rail with just standard, you know, rubber protectors. A little bit windy today, anyways. Let's see if perfect eye relief. I love it when stuff works out like that. A little bit higher, even better. Very nice. Very nice. Alrighty. 30 minutes of modification. This is the result. Let's go and shoot it, right? Alrighty, moment of truth. 30 minutes of modification. Not counting the paint to dry up. It's still not fully dry, but you know, never mind. We're just here for fun, right? Everything is functioning. To completely ridicule the set, we'll put on our traditional Tech 15 box here in the front. It will be completely ridiculous. Now I need the sides to co-witness. Well, there is the option with the Mosin, luckily, to co-witness with your barrel. See where the barrel is pointing, and just have to mind your sign pointing the same point. But always good to have a backup side. And also if your optic fails, breaks or whatnot, you just snap it off with a QD levers. You still got your Glock sights on a fucking Mosin, because why the fuck not? Because you can, right? Alright, let's set in on 25, then we'll switch to 300. Okay. Alrighty, so let's test it out on a little bit further distances. Let me just get everything together here. 1 second. Yeah, like this looks alright, I guess, right? So we're gonna be shooting at this gong. It's 100 meters. Let's see if our rail and the cheapo Chinese optic on it, if everything holds true, right? To put up my bipods a little higher. Perfect. Yep. 100 meters. And just a quick side note here, guys. I want this to become the #1 meme of the internet. Curse gun image, #1, no questions asked. Alrighty, so after laughing a little bit at this thing with the M320 Underbarrel grenade launcher, Pack 15 laser system to make it become the just most cursed gun out there, the biggest gun meme of all times. Now our modified Mosin, back to some serious business. So we got our AKRS on here, and we got a sawn-off stock with the Picatinny rail in the button and some rubber protectors. It's actually surprisingly nice. I mean, no, this one I tested last time. This was just unbelievably nice. Although on the short barrel Mosin with the non-factory, rear side post, it goes a little bit further than on the other Mosin, and I'm not sure if you could still use stripper clips. Let me see. You could still use them. Okay, interesting. Anyways, let's get back to some serious business. I've been sighting it on 25, testing on 100. I've been sitting in the video on 100, but I can confirm you verbally that I hit. Now let's test if this thing holds true on 300 meters. Alrighty, eyes and ears, everybody. So I got the same gong as last time on 300. Let me zoom in a little bit. Way better. I'll just hold that on. That was definitely a hit. Let me visit our friend from the last video on 50 meters. The 50% torse. Where is he? Ah, there we go. Hopefully he'll not break off. Oh, I forgot I got a bolt actually here. AKRS, gotta use the AKs. With these rounds, I don't know why, but I got hang fires. Maybe you heard it click. A little bit later, it fires. That was a hit. Woo! Short barrel sure has some recoil to it. Everything still sitting fine. Let's see. Let's get out this bolt. The bipods. Let's somehow exclude them from rattling. I believe it's best if I maybe hold on to the bipods or not. Okay, not like this. Nothing rattling. Perfectly solid on there. Let's continue. These hang fires are just killing me. Like the 4th or 5th round, there's a hang fire. Unfortunately, our target is no more. It just chopped it right off. I'll reset it a little bit later. That's the good thing about the 54R. On short distances, it's devastating. Long distances, 308 wins. Right, back to the 300 meter target. Solid hit, rings like a bell. I would prefer a pistol grip on here, so if anybody does this conversion, make sure to cut the stuff even here maybe. And some AR buffer tube to be memed the fuck out of here. And some AR pistol grip, because you slip off from the recoil. Let's do one more round on 300. And I'll let the little guy shoot it. Ringing like a bell. Alrighty, one more side note. Full disclosure and in all fairness, we added a little bit of nylon tape, the same one that holds your optic in place, onto the barrel. 1 or 2 rotations, maybe 2, because otherwise, of course, it would slip here. But with the nylon tape, all the screws cranked down completely. It will be just as safe and secure as any heavy optic you have on a similar caliber rifle. And it protects the barrel from any scratches or what. This one, I don't know, it was like this before we received it. Not sure what it is. I'm guessing it was a ring holder or something right here. I'm not sure what it is. Anyway, so yeah, that is the disclosure about the tape. It doesn't, without the tape, it just doesn't. Without the tape, it's just not enough friction to keep it perfectly zero. With the tape, it is. A little bit better view. And I'm assuming, I'm not sure if we'll mill some, you know, bridge section for, I don't know, somewhere here, a bridge section that keeps it from moving forward against the side block. But yeah, I mean, we've done like 40 or 50 rounds with it, full power military ammo and short barrel, more recoil, rifle is lighter. Yeah, works perfectly.